Well, thank you again for joining us for another segment of Meet the Agent. Today I'm speaking with Steven Grizoffi. He is a realtor out of California. He services the southern Sacramento and northern Placer counties here in California. And so first I just wanted to say thank you so much, Steve, for making yourself available and joining us today.
Oh, absolutely. Appreciate the invitation. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely. No, I'm excited about this conversation. So I know you've been in real estate for some time. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got into real estate?
Oh, sure. So I think I originally got my agent license about the end of 2001, beginning of 2002, right in that time frame, and was really looking for a career change. I had been working in the IT field and servicing computer systems and software and training people on all of that for a long time, and industry was changing and kind of downsizing, and was looking for another option.
And so if you have your background in technology, I know that that's been, a lot of realtors would say that's probably the most impactful, if not one of the most impactful changes that's really rocked the industry, especially in the last couple of years. So can you talk a little bit about how you are able to marry technology, or at least incorporate it into your business model to enhance the service that you provide?
There's, when you get into sales, if you will, a lot of people are just very driven in that area, but they may not be too analytical or technical. So I think I kind of got a good balance of both. But technology has definitely changed this industry dramatically. One of the things that is very common, and most people know it, but believe it or not everyone. Most buyers will find the home themselves that they want to buy, and then they'll usually contact a realtor. So there's that piece of it. If you're selling your home, getting that home out to the masses is really important. And I really have a whole program that I do on video marketing, where I put that listing and do a great presentation, not only photographs but also video, that kind of stuff. But a lot of people will do that, but it's not just getting it on the MLS or getting it on Zillow or getting it on a couple of the websites out there. It's really promoting that through paid marketing promotions through social media. That's really what I focus on.
And when you're trying out different platforms, was there any that have just been gangbusters for you, or is it just kind of a trial and error until you find the one that works for your particular business model?
Sure. Well, I went through the trial and error for way too long. And everybody that you talk to thinks they're an expert on social media and how to do videos, and there's some truth into each one of their programs that I've learned. But I'm actually being coached by a very successful coach right now, out of Central California as well. And she's been extremely successful, and she's got several hundred agents across the entire nation that she's working with. So it's a really great program, and I really pretty much follow that guidelines of what she does.
I love that, because it's you often talk with realtors who've been in the business for a while, and they're not as receptive to that idea of coaching. So as somebody who has been in the business for some time, can you talk about what is the benefit that you get from enlisting someone like a coach this late in your career?
You get quite a few benefits. One of the first and foremost things probably is being accountable. And like as a real estate broker, I have for the most part, I know what I need to do. It's a matter of scheduling it, and sometimes the saying, we're just you're too close to you're too close to the trees to see the forest, or however that saying goes. So that can definitely happen. You can absolutely get buried in the day-to-day task on what you're doing, what needs to be done, and you could go a week, 2 weeks, that could turn into a month where you're not really doing your active marketing like you should. So just the accountability part of it. The other thing is you don't know what you don't know. And by having an expert in that field. That helps. The particular program I'm in, again, it's a group setting, so I could bounce ideas off of literally 200 different agents that are successful. So just by collaborating like that is really helps me in my brokerage.
Well, so you mentioned that you're working with a coach, and I love that because I think it's a great thing. Mentorship is really important, and particularly in sales. So can you talk about what it is that you get from a coach by enlisting them? Because you're not a new agent. That's typically when agents are most receptive to that idea of coaching. But what do you get from a coach, even though you've been in the business for a while?
Probably three things I would identify right away. One is accountability. When you tell someone that you're going to do something and what your goals are, they could really help hold you accountable. So that's definitely one. The second thing is, working with a coach that has other experiences, life experiences, business experiences, bring something to the table that you don't have. You don't really know what you don't know often, so there is a whole nother level of knowledge that comes in that way. And then, like in the coaching program that I'm in, it's also a group setting, so I can literally bounce ideas, questions, and see what other people are doing, on several hundred other agents. So it's very beneficial.
That's great. And I know you work with your brother, and you're heading up the brokerage Realty by Design. So can you talk about management, team management, and stuff like that? Because I think it's really interesting, particularly, this is across the board in sales, but definitely in real estate. You're dealing with a lot of personalities. You mentioned earlier that a big part of working with somebody is you need to have personalities that click. So can you talk about how it is that you're able to manage a team of personalities, keep them somewhat in line while still allowing their personalities and their uniqueness to shine through?
Sure. Well, part of that is finding the right group of people. So what I would say on my team, and we really do run it like a team. On my team, not only do I have an agent that works for me, who happens to be my brother as well, so that's a good fit for us. But I also have home inspectors, pest inspectors. I have the title company, escrow and title company that plays a major role if we're working with buyers. The lender, all of those really play a major role in the whole transaction, and picking the right partners, people that you could trust, and having that whole arsenal, if you will, of people that's available really helps through the entire transaction and really makes it much smoother.
Right. Okay. And do you have, when you're working internet leads, do you have a process that applies that everybody on your team follows, or do you first take the leads yourself and then after working them, hand them off to team members?
Sure. What we do is we've kind of divided our map up there with at set schedule, kind of to little different territories, if you will. So for us, we've kind of split it to a northern and southern area, and I think the northern part, which is actually South Placer County, and then my agent takes the southern part, which is actually North Sacramento County. So we kind of know what our area's in as the leads are coming in, and we're responding to those. We know which one of us is going to grab which one there. As far as a program, we've really brainstormed and come up with a really good script for a buyer lead, and then another script for a seller lead. Just something that we go through. A lot of times when you call them, you will get, at least initially, you'll get their voicemail. So you want that to not sound salesy, but you have to explain why you're calling as well. So we do have a kind of a program in place.
Well, thank you so much, Steve, for agreeing to speak with us today. I think this was a really great conversation, and I think it's going to be very helpful for a lot of agents. So I appreciate again for you for making the time to speak with us.